Hello, my name is Moidy Davinga, and welcome to this edition of my video blog, Moidy's Musings. For the last couple of videos, we've been talking about my 3-point strategy that I offer to clients and that I've used myself whenever I've tried to move into a new kind of behavior or bring about change or go for a really big goal in my life. The first part of the strategy we discussed was the idea of getting your mind right. And what that means, in short, is to make sure that you are spiritually and emotionally prepared to deal with the challenges and fall into the opportunities that are inevitably going to come your way when you make a decision to take your life in a different direction or to pursue a goal. The second piece is to get your game tight. And what that means is to create a very clear vision of what it is that you want for your life. Write down your goals, write down your objectives, and write down a timeline that is attached to those goals and objectives so that you have a roadmap to follow in your journey. So that if you find yourself falling off the wagon or get a little bit confused, you have something to fall back into. You don't want to be rigid about it. You want to have some flexibility to be able to adapt when different unforeseen opportunities come in your direction. But having that roadmap will allow you to measure opportunities, to measure situations against where you're trying to go and make a better informed decision. The third piece, which I think is so critical, is to watch your crew. And basically what that means is to create a support network, a network of individuals who you surround yourself, who engage you in uplifting conversation, who support your goals, who understand your vision. They may not share your vision. It may not be the same vision that they have for you, their own lives, but they understand that it's important for you, and they create a space, they create support, they create energy that pushes you, that gives you the momentum you need, particularly when you're not feeling at your best, to keep moving. Whenever I'm talking to people about watching their crew, I always suggest to them that they do an environmental scan. And what that means is to look into your life, look at your close circle of friends, the people that you chose to invite into your life, not your family, because we can't control the people that we're born into, but we can control the people that we invite into our lives, right? And if you're doing an environmental scan, I always say start close and move outward. So the first person you should be looking at, if you're of age, is that person that you woke up next to this morning. Does he or she support you? Does he or she see the vision that you have for your life and understand its importance to you? And are they committed to being that cheerleader for you, that person that gives you critical, constructive feedback from a place of compassion and love? Is that person willing to do that for you? Then you have to go from that person that's closest to you, and then you start to work your way outward as you look at your friends, as you look at your relationships, as you look at your professional, your peers. Ask yourself, does this relationship in question, does it feed me? Does it sustain me? Or does it drain me? If it feeds you, it's like water to a plant. The relationship makes you grow. It challenges you. It makes you feel good about yourself. And in those times where you have questions, those are people that you can go to who, from a place of love, from a place of compassion, can give you critical feedback. They can be your truth tellers in the name of bringing you up higher. Those are the people that you want to have in abundance in your life. Friends who feed you, who you feed as well. Then we have friends who sustain us. And they're friends who, they're not necessarily people who we have, these really intense conversations about philosophy and spirituality and goal setting on a regular basis. They may be interested, they may not. There may be people that you just sort of want to kick it with. You might want to go to the club every once in a while, or go to the movies, have dinner, have a few laughs. We need that. We need that lightness in our lives. Everybody does not need to be your cheerleader, but you don't want to have an abundance of people, or any people if you can help it, who drain you. And that's the piece. That's the part. Those are the folks that usually bring us down. And you know who I'm talking about. When your cell phone rings and you look at that caller ID and it goes straight to voicemail on the regular, that's somebody who drains you. If you're walking down the street and you see them coming before they see you, and you try to turn your head so you don't be, so you're not seen, and go in the other direction, that's somebody who drains you. And be clear. At various points in our relationships with people who are close to us, we sometimes have to be the cheerleader for them. Sometimes they have to be the cheerleader for us. We all go through the different seasons of life where we at different times need to rely on people, and people are going to need to rely on us. So I'm not saying that if you have a friend who's going through some dark times or is having a challenging experience that we're going to kick them to the curb. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that if you have people in your life who spend 85 to 99% of their time in the doldrums, complaining, moaning about everything, nothing's going right, woe is me, and then on top of that, they want to sort of spread that dark cloud over onto you. And not only do they not support you, but might occasionally articulate how your vision won't work. You're never going to have that new job. You're never going to get in shape. You're not going to make Dean's List. Those are people that we need to create a space, a pathway for them to exit. People who are chronically, who habitually live in the state of woe is me. It's not going to work. The universe is against me. There's a conspiracy lurking and an enemy lurking behind every door, are not people that you need to attach yourself to if you are trying to come up higher. You are a visionary, right? You have an idea of where you want to go. You might be happy with where you are right now, but you know that you were put on this earth for a divine purpose. And in order to live out that purpose, you need to surround yourself to the greatest extent possible with people who share that vision of the world. Their dreams may not be the same as your dreams, but they dream, right? Their goals may not be the same as your goals, but they have goals. Do these relationships feed you, sustain you, or drain you? And when you come to a decision, when you come to the realization that a relationship is a drain on you, and maybe it's somebody you've known for a long time, maybe you're not ready to let them go, then you have to ask yourself, what can I do to bring about change? Not how can I change them? Because we know we can't drag anybody down the road of transformation. What can I do to change? And if you can't think of anything, or if you've exhausted all of the ideas and thoughts that you may have had of how you can bring this around, then you have to start to think about the exit strategy. 9 times out of 10, though, they'll leave you. When you start to change and you really start to let your light shine, the people who I call them ankle draggers, right? The people dragging you by your ankles and trying to hold you back, they're going to let go because the light will be too bright. They won't be able to take it. So they'll self-correct. But in the meantime, you have to do what you need to do to protect yourself. I call it creating a consciousness force field where only a few can get in. You don't have to collect a whole bunch of friends. I've never been the kind of person that wanted a whole bunch of people around me. That's just not who I am. I have people that I like. I have a very big family that I'm cool with. So I'm covered in that way. You need to figure out how to create that network for yourself. You need to know that sometimes you might have to be alone. Recognize the fact that some people who you are real tight with, once you do your assessment, might start to, disappear. But that's okay, because they're creating space for other people to come into your life. People who are going to support you. People who are going to feed you, right? Get your mind right. Get your game tight. Watch your crew. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. And I will see you very soon.